It was 3:30 in the morning when Robert Allen Black was escorted into Khalifa jail, an American in Abu Dhabi. He found himself frightened even though the other prisoners were sleeping. Movie scenes from Midnight Express and Brubaker swirled through his head. He sat at a table in the common area, waiting for the others to wake, not knowing what the reaction would be to his presence. His crime: Black, who has a degree in architecture, 3 master's degrees and a doctorate in educational psychology, was in Abu Dhabi, the capital of United Arab Emirates, for October's Creative Thinkers Conference. He was to present a workshop and emcee the event. On a Tuesday morning, the 70-year-old got up early to take a walk in the neighborhoods near his hotel. An avid photographer, Black took his camera to snap photos of houses and couple of the mosques he passed. When he left the second mosque, he was approached by a man in uniform. He motioned Black to get into a camouflaged truck. "I had no idea what he wanted," Black said, "but never felt threatened, so I got in." He was driven a short distance to a building with a sign out front that read "Reception." He waited about an hour before he was guided back outside and told, "Do not photograph security areas." Black asked for clarification, but he was waved away with no further explanation, he said. He decided to continue his walk. A few blocks away, he came upon the sign on a lamp post that said in English, "Photography forbidden." Thinking the photo of the sign would make for a novel Facebook post, he snapped an image. After crossing the road, he was approached by 2 other uniformed men in a second camouflaged truck and waved into the back seat. He was driven back to reception, which Black believes was a police station, where his passport, camera and cell phone were seized. Headed to jail, Black tried to keep his composure. He was questioned and moved to different rooms, waiting for hours at a time, but the process was civil, he said. No one harmed him in any way. After 8 or 9 hours at the police station, a man came in and asked him to stand. His hands and feet were shackled and hood was put over his head. He was escorted to an SUV where his wrists were chained to the floor. After hours more of interrogation, he was driven to the Khalifa jail. When the sun rose that morning, Black was relieved to be greeted with smiles from the other inmates. A few prisoners from the Philippines spoke English. Their conversation revolved around why Black was there and the daily routine at the jail. Later in the day, police took him back to his hotel and allowed him to retrieve his belongings and check out of the hotel. Concerned friends and family called the hotel but couldn't obtain any information on his whereabouts. After Black spent about a week in jail, the translator for the prosecutor's office felt bad about his plight and Googled his name. Black later learned. The translator contacted some of his associates, which is how friends and family members learned what had happened to him. He was quickly transferred to Al-Watba prison, where he met a Syrian in his mid-30s named Quzai. All of those who could speak any English were very supportive and helpful in both the prison and the jail, Black recalled, but Quzai made the most concerted effort.